which is, who cares? So listen,
we care.
Admittedly, I'm the last person in the world who's in a position to judge this.
Yeah,
because everybody knows, oh, I have a glorious, long, infamous track record with old tweets. So much so that they're probably the most popular old tweets of anybody's old tweets. And I made a decision on principle that, yes, that's part of me, that's part of who I am or who I was. Part of who I am or who I was. Everybody deserves to see it.
Not who you were, it's part of who you are. It hasn't changed. And the fact that white people forgave you is the gag. Because Black people didn't forgive Kyle for this bullshit. White people did. Black people, we don't fund Kyle. We don't pay his bills. We're not the majority of the people who support him. So white people forgave him for using the N-word. And you white people who still fucking subscribe to Kyle with his anti-Blackness and this shit, you're a fucking problem too. Sorry, y'all got anything, or should I keep playing?
Yeah, no, I think, well, one thing's for sure, right? As I was alluding to before, this attitude, again, these text messages are in context, right? In context. There is no reason to use the N-word, right?
Period.
You just voluntarily tossing it out there, just like Kyle in his tweets was voluntarily tossing it out there. That speaks to a mindset, right? That speaks to a mindset. That's the big piece, right? So when this guy Kyle says that reparations are unnecessary, or the capitalists to get it back, whatever the fuck, unfeasible, whatever bullshit he says.
Yep, and then he changed his tune with Marianne 500 million Williamson. Go ahead, or 500 billion. Keep going. I'm sorry, MG.
Yeah, but I mean, but at the same time, this is part of his makeup, right? There was no reason for him to tweet the N-word, even in 2011. It's not necessary, right? It's just something you want to do, you feel you have to do. Again, that speaks to mindset. That speaks to where you are as a human being. You don't have enough humanity or humility to say, okay, maybe I shouldn't use this word because of all the stuff that's connected to it. And it hurts, and it's hurtful. Now, we just saw with the Asians, 68% of the hate crimes, according to the FBI, against the Asians were verbal assaults. We're in hate crime territory if we're Asians. You know what I mean? See what I mean? And this is the mentality where people think they can just say what they want to us about us, and there are no consequences, right? And this is part of that. This is part of that problem, right? Our show is probably the first time this dude had to face any kind of consequences about his bullshit, right? We're the only ones talking about this dude, who he is from his side of the spectrum, right? But everybody lets this dude slide just like they let motherfucking AOC slide.
In that exchange, and to say you are distinct and you come from a distinct community that is valued and uplifted, and vice versa. And when we tell the stories of the mistakes we have made in the past, economically speaking, when we talk about the issue of, say, reparations, people think, people think about reparations as reparations for slavery. But really, economically speaking, reparations are for the damage done by the New Deal and redlining, because that is where we saw a compounding of the existing inequity from the legacy of slavery, where we drew red lines around Black communities, and we said white communities will get home loans and they'll get access to the basic bedrock of wealth in America. And this is the thing that this will be your heirloom. And we gave white America an heirloom that appreciated over time, that people still benefit from today, and we did not give that to African American, Mexican communities, Puerto Rican communities.
Economically speaking, when we talk about the issue of, say, reparations, people think, people think about reparations as reparations for slavery. But really, economically speaking, reparations are for the damage done by the New Deal and redlining, because that is where we saw a compounding of the existing inequity from the legacy of slavery.
Like everybody else slide. This is who the fuck he is. Call him out for being who the fuck he is. Stop being scared of this dude.
I don't think they're scared of him. I think that they agree with him being low-key racist. Like, Kyle is the type of racist that America likes. Like, Kyle likes the type of racist that, isn't going to call people N-words to their face. He'll sit around and joke and shit and, oh, I don't mean it like that. Rap lyrics. Like, Kyle, I'm sorry. How many Black people did you really grow up with? You don't even strike me as a person who grew up in a Black community. You understand what I'm saying? At least I would still have a problem with you being a white person who grew up in an all-Black community using the N-word. I would have a problem with it. But at least I would be like, some people over your life have given you a pass in that kind of community. But for you a white boy who grew up around white people, you have no business using that fucking word, period. And for him just be like, who I was or who I am / who I was. No, if you wanted to say it, it would have been who I was. You wouldn't have said who I am / who I was. You are who you are. You're an anti-Black racist. How you do your show, how you do your politics when you talk about Black people and Black issues, it shows that you're an anti-Black racist. This video is just like icing on the cake. Like, we talk about stuff all the time that's like slightly underneath the skin that you can't necessarily see, but this is blatant, out and open. And I want to thank you, Kyle, for showing like straight out that you're just an anti-Black racist. Like, this is the type of shit I can show to white people and them have a problem with it. Like, I showed this to our buddy John D, and he was like, I don't understand. And remember, John D said he grew up hanging out with Black people and stuff. He all into jazz and all that shit. And he was like, we didn't use that word. He was like, we just didn't ever think it was okay or acceptable to use that word. And it's the person who loves the culture. A white man who loves the culture, who spent a bunch of time in the culture, who said, nah, that was not acceptable. We knew better. So if he knew better as a white man growing up, wanting to be part of Black culture and being, inserting himself into Black culture not to do it, what the fuck is wrong with you?